Hello everybody and welcome to Lights Up, the official WNBL podcast. I'm Grantley Bernard, joined by two-time WNBL Championship captain Desi Glaubitz. And Desi, we've got some interesting trends coming out of the weekend. We've got Dandenong on a 6-game winning streak. We've got Adelaide on a 3-game losing streak and the Bulleen Boomers on a 3-game winning streak. Things are starting to happen in the WNBL.
It's getting to crunch time in the league, that's for sure. Dandenong and Bendigo, as you say, have really made a break there in the top two and are going to be hard to catch. And Bulleen starting to look threatening, although be it a little bit ugly.
Bulleen are just sitting on the outside, looking in and trying to get in. They had a good weekend, a win on the weekend. Take us through all the games.
Okay, so it started on Friday night up in Townsville with the Townsville Fire 89 defeating the Sydney Flames 81. Mia Newley was on fire with 31 points there, including 5 of 6 from the 3-point line. For the Flames, April Sykes had 26 points and 6 assists. Saturday night, the Bulleen Boomers 67 narrow winners over the West Coast Waves 61. Elise Penaluna was brilliant for the Boomers with 27 points on 11 of 16 shooting. And for the Waves, Antonia Edmondson had a good weekend with 20 points and also another good game against Dandenong. The following night, the Dandenong Rangers just wiped the floor with the West Coast Waves, 95-64. Steph Cummings, 28 points, 10 of 15 from the field there. And Antonia Edmondson, 15 points, so completing a good weekend. Bendigo Spirit, 68. Winners over the Adelaide Lightning, 62, so a really tough game there. Kelsey Griffin, 22 points and 7 assists. And Christy Harrower shot the go-ahead basket with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in that game, and Bendigo were then able to hold on. Susie Bakovic had 21 points and 12 rebounds, most of which occurred in the first half, I believe. Logan Thunder escaped with a 1-point victory over the Sydney Flames. Nat Taylor had 18 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists in a fantastic game. Laurie Cohen had the game-winning 3 with 18 seconds to play. And I think 4 players in double figures for the Thunder there certainly would have helped. And for the Flames, April Sykes for the second time in the weekend had 26 points. And the Flames led the game by 9 points with 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining, so would be ruining the last few minutes of that game.
The Flames would really be ruining one that did get away there. They had it in their clutches and let it get out. The Logan Thunder getting up on their home court. So that leaves the ladder, as we see it, at Bendigo at 9-1 on top. Dandenong at 9-2. So they are really keeping the pressure on Bendigo. Dandenong with a 6-game winning streak on the go. Adelaide at 6-4, as we said, they've lost 3 straight. Canberra at 5-4 rounds out the top 4. Then Bulleen at 6-5, they've won 3 in a row. Townsville 4-5, Logan 3-6, West Coast 2-9, and Sydney, the unlucky last, at 1-9. If we go back and have a quick look at a couple of the games, Desi, Dandenong has shown their firepower all season. They've put up another 95 against West Coast on Saturday night at the Nonga Dome. And I guess apart from Steph Cumming, 28 points on 10 of 15 field goals, the Rangers also shot 9 of 18 on threes. So they've done a great job from the perimeter. They've had 24 points off turnovers and a 32-10 first quarter. So pretty much it sounds like they've stepped out of the locker room and just gone bang, turned up the pressure, and game was over at quarter time.
Yeah, it's a really tough weekend for the Flames when they come off a game the night before. They've got some young point guards there in Amelia Todd-Hunter starting there in the point against one of her former clubs in Dandenong would have been a tough ask. And I guess, you know, looking at the excellent shooting, Dandenong are renowned for being great shooters, and perhaps the pressure wasn't there for Perth, or perhaps Dandenong just got on a roll confidence-wise, and Steph Cummings looks like she knocked down everything she touched. So yeah, they certainly got on a roll, and 95 points is an awful lot of points to give away in the WNBL, so I think Perth would be fairly disappointed with that after some good recent form.
Well, they did a good job the night before. They only lost by 6 to Bulleen, and the Boomers needed a 10-2 run to start the fourth quarter. That was pretty much the difference in the ball game there. Elise Penaluna had a big game inside. She's coming to some form. So the Boomers look like they might be starting to do some things, but the Waves, they've just got the potential, I guess, to cause an upset along the way somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly do, and certainly the Kiwi connection have been keeping them in the game there at the moment, with Tony Edmondson and Lisa Warburton doing a good job as well. But The Boomers were fantastic in the first quarter. It was sort of like the Boomers by how much here, but Perth just stayed in the game. West Coast, sorry, stayed in the game and kept fighting and fighting, and the Boomers just couldn't pull away. And it was ugly basketball at times, but West Coast certainly showed a lot of fight. And I think without the polish of Elise Penaluna and the way she played on Saturday night, the Boomers might have been in a little bit of trouble.
Ugly basketball, but a great contest nonetheless. And I guess the last game we need to touch on is Bendigo 68 against Adelaide 62. That leaves Adelaide on a 3-game losing streak, but I guess that's probably exaggerated a bit. You've got to go back and look at, well, they've lost to Bendigo on Bendigo's home court by 6. So not all doom and gloom coming out of that, I would have thought, for the Lightning.
No, not all doom and gloom, and I think they're too good to be doom and gloom. They've got the players there, and you know, if they click at the business end of the season, they'll be as much a contender as Dandenong and Bendigo are, and certainly Bendigo have shown a few teams up, particularly in Bendigo this year, and I think will continue to do so. Bendigo
is probably the form team in the WNBL, sitting on top of the ladder at 9-1. Certainly the championship favourite, along with the Dandenong Rangers. That's about all we've got for Lights Up in our first segment of the week. Don't forget, you can keep up to date with everything on the WNBL website at wnbl.com.au. There's also the league Facebook page and Twitter account at WNBL. You can get to our Lights Up co-host Desi Glaubitz 6, and also Sharon Milner at Sharon Milner 4. And of course, the ABC website has the live streaming of games every Friday, and that game is replayed on Saturday afternoon, I should say, nationally on your local ABC station. And of course, the WNBL needs its sponsors very much, and it relies on the Australian Sports Commission, Champion, Sporting, IINet, ANFA, ABC, and Sporting Pulse. Until we are back in the middle of the week with Talking It Up, this has been Lights Up.